So you finally graduated from school, but now you're at an awkward point where you don't really know where to go or what to do. Well, I might have an idea for you. So I graduated college this time last year, and I spent probably 6 to 8 months just kind of doing nothing. So hopefully with the 5 ideas I'm about to give you, I can save you from wasting all that time just like I did. Sometimes when you can't figure out what to do, one of the best things you can do is work on yourself and try new things or do things that you haven't done in the past. The goal is just do something that improves your life 1% every day. Which leads me into the first thing you should try. Read. But quickly, before we jump into it, my first video, the one about business school, had some focusing issues, which I'm sorry, it was the first video, my bad. But it's the first video anyway, so you can't be so mad about it. But I hope this one looks a little bit better. But if you have any recommendations for that, just let me know. I'd love to hear what you think. Make sure to subscribe and press the notification bell to be reminded when I drop videos. I'm trying to get the channel snowballing, so if you like the content or you like me, maybe, then please share and help me out. The content will continue to evolve over the next couple weeks and next couple months, and I have some crazy plans for future content, so be on the lookout for that. But now, let's get back to the video. Reading. I know, but just hear me out on this one. If there's any way to be productive without it being super invasive, reading is that way. Now I know a lot of people don't like to read. You read all the time, you don't want to pick up a physical book. It's fine, you can try audiobooks, whatever, but they're really helpful, so you should give them a chance. 3 books I read in the past few months gave me incredibly different perspectives and so many different insights. The first book that I read was I return with the books. The first book I read was this one right here, The Only Skill That Matters, which is like the first book I fully read in like 6 years. It really helped me like relearn the learning process and the memorization process, where I feel like that's something we should have learned in school, but we never did. So it's something I cannot recommend more for people that have never had like actual memorization tactics or anything like that in your memory. That is definitely something you want to check out. It helps in every area of life, being able to remember names, remember faces, remember locations, dates, etc. And it also helps you learn a lot quicker. One of the things it talks about is speed reading too. So if you're going to read in any order, I would read that one first. But you don't have to take my book recommendations by all means. These are amazing for people that are into entrepreneurship, business, or traveling, or just improving their life personally for whatever reason. So Atomic Habits by James Clear is like one of the best books for helping you improve at whatever it is you want in life. It helps you focus on improving 1% a day and not focusing on trying to hit crazy home runs and improve by like 500% a day, just focusing on 1% a day and making major changes just by improving a little bit every day. It also talks about how you can ease into habits instead of just going fully into the deep end. Like in this circumstance, reading. You don't have to read a full book in a month, or you don't have to read a chapter every day. You can start by reading 1 page before bed. And that's what they recommend for people that are non-readers. Now the 4-hour work week is quite a bit different from Atomic Habits in it focuses almost exclusively on trying to live your life without spending all your time doing a career, doing business. Finding a way to automate those tasks, finding a way to delegate those tasks, and how you can travel and take mini retirements instead of taking 40 years of work and then taking your retirement when you're too old and you can't travel. Now these are just the 3 books that I read, but that doesn't mean you have to read these ones. Now I know a lot of people aren't into like self-improvement or business books or anything like that, and that's totally fine. You can read fiction, you can read nonfiction, you could read whatever other book you want. But reading is something you should totally pick up, and it really doesn't take that much time. I mean, you can dedicate as much time to it as you want. But before you go and read those books, you might want to know about number 2. Now, I've had dry skin forever, like sandpaper skin, the Sahara Desert. And that's been great for not having breakouts, but it's not great for aging. So I might look like 65 in 10 years. But now that you have all this extra time in your days, I would recommend trying to work in a good skincare routine. It doesn't really take that long to learn. It's something you can ask a doctor about. It's something you can research on your own. I'm no dermatologist. I'm definitely not a skincare influencer, but having just a few different things will do wonders for you. All in all, I'd recommend like a 3 or 5 step skincare routine for basically anybody. But you can't forget sunscreen and SPF because that is absolutely essential. So I've gone from basically having no skincare routine to a 3-step routine, and then recently, about a month or two ago, to having a 5-step routine. And it has done wonders for my skin, making it, feel less like a piece of paper and more like a normal person's skin. Yes, I know, I still look like a raccoon. I still look like that girl, what's her name? Violet from The Incredibles. Bro, I'm telling you, I get 9 hours of sleep every night. I don't know what's wrong. I just look like this. Just do your skincare. Stop asking so many questions. One question you should ask yourself though is, when was the last time you did something new? If your answer wasn't within the past day or two, then you might benefit from number 3. And before you move on, why don't you do something new right now? And follow my Instagram at Dom Lizotte with 2 M's if you're interested in more personal stuff or some behind the scenes stuff. Now I know it's not the easiest thing to do something new, and especially if you live in the same hometown that you've been in forever, but trust me, there's always something new to do. It doesn't have to be something crazy. It can be something really simple, but it just has to be something that you haven't done before or something that you think might be cool to try. For me, I'd always been an athlete and a student. And so when I graduated from school and I was neither of those things anymore, pretty much just being a normal human was doing something new for me. So every day I was doing something new. And that's something I think you should try. It's really a very insightful time where you can learn a lot about how other people live. New things could be going to a coffee shop or cafe, or going to the movies by yourself, maybe even taking a road trip somewhere far away by yourself and doing the whole process and doing new things while you're there. There's a ton of stuff you can do, but it all really depends on you and what's new for you. You could even do something new with your fashion or the way you look. Changing appearance in general is something that's new for a lot of people, especially when you were in school around other people that you think might judge you. However, now that you're out of school, now is the perfect time to experiment and try new things with your appearance. One of the things that I found that was super interesting was just buying things that I never had before for whatever reason. For me, that was random accessories like a phone charging stand or a footrest under your desk, even an Apple Watch and other random tech and general life improving stuff. One of those things was supplements. What better to do with your free time right now than improve the way you feel every day? Now, a ton of the US population doesn't get enough nutrients and doesn't get enough vitamins in their daily diet. So that's where supplements become super important for especially the people in the US who eat a ton of food but never get anything they need. In the past year, I was having a ton of anxiety issues, and for some reason, it just never seemed to go away. So I started taking meds for it, hoping that would help, and unfortunately, it didn't do quite as much as I wanted it to do. It did help, but just not as much as the super lows that were really bad. But as soon as I started coupling them with some supplements to make sure I had all the correct nutrients and vitamins in my diet, all of a sudden my anxiety just went away, for the most part, at least. The supplement that did that for me was magnesium, which is one that a lot of people in the US are actually relatively deficient in. And if you want to know more about that and some story time, leave it in the comments and I'll do a video about it. Now, magnesium is common for having benefits to combat anxiety, but I also started trying other supplements at the same time. What I'd recommend is finding a good multivitamin. Now, there are tons out there that are too potent, and there are tons out there that are way too weak, and a lot of them are incredibly disgusting. Now, you want to really avoid those, and you got to find one that you like or that you can tolerate taking. And make sure to look for supplements that benefit men or benefit women. They'll have specific ones that are good and have different ingredients that benefit you. But as with anything supplement related, I'm no expert, and that's something you should really consult a doctor on, but also just do your own research and find out what other people recommend, people that have more experience in understanding the science of supplements than I do, as that'll allow you to avoid all the bad players in the supplement scene. And as soon as you can get that done and start feeling better, then you can try out number 5. There is never a better time to start a new hobby, no matter what it is, than the time you just got done with school and you have all this free time to do with whatever you want. As with trying something new, starting a new habit can take you out of your comfort zone and change your life in many ways. There are unlimited hobbies to pick up, but a few that I like are learning to cook, picking up photography or videography, learning a new language, learning to play an instrument, and especially picking up journaling. Now, I haven't really been a major proponent. I dabbled with it a time or two, but if you're able to bend the idea into something that really works for you, then that's something I totally recommend. You don't just have to write down all your thoughts and your emotions, etc. You can try something that I learned about from Ryder Carroll, who's the founder of the bullet journal method. Now, the bullet journal method is one that I picked up just a few months ago, and it has really done wonders for helping me remember what I did on a day-to-day basis, what I did, 3 weeks ago. It's a great way to be more intentional about the way you think about things. So for me, the way I use it is kind of as a to-do list, but also a way for me to remember what I did and also be able to take notes about not only the way I feel, but also things I improved on or insights I had from whatever it is that day. So let me know if any of these ideas look good to you. Are you gonna try 1? Are you gonna try 2? Maybe all 5? Or do you have any that could be included on this list? As with my first video, I'll be responding to the comments, and the best comment will be pinned up top, like SpongeBob with all his stars. But don't forget to like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you like the content. If you stayed this long,
I think I should start by letting you in. Take a look at you and start to lose my balance. What am I falling into? This feels like something new.
if you could see my tan lines, don't clown me in the comments.